Dr. Kyle here. I am here to talk to you guys about how to use the different heads on a massage gun. So this is the one that we use here. It's called a proper pistol. And the way that you use this is you turn it on and then you can set the intensity based here. So I'm going to talk about the 5 different heads that this type of device has. So number 1, the most common and the most general head that this uses is this one here. So this one is designed for pretty much all areas of the body. It's meant for a more gentle type of treatment. It's the one that you want to use on almost everywhere to start with. This one sometimes can be a little bit uncomfortable on the front parts of the body, like the chest, the pec, things like that. Mainly because it's rounded, so it can go a little bit deeper. So this one can go a little bit deeper if you want it to be intense. The second head is this one. Now this is one that is very difficult to use on yourself because it has to be perpendicular to where you're doing it. This one's really only for the spine. Sometimes you can bracket around muscles like the upper trap up here, but this one you would generally want to go straight up and down the back, and it wants to be perpendicular or at a slight angle like this. This one is really hard to do by yourself because you can't get your back. So usually this one will be one that you have to have somebody else do. The next one is this one right here. So this here is kind of the grown-up version of this one. So what this one does is it's designed for a more deeper type of massage therapy or manual release, deeper tissue. So like if you want to get to the deep elements of the glutes or like the low back, IT band if you really want to hit it, calf, things like that. When this one becomes too easy, this is the one that you want to upgrade to. So what's nice about this one is it's metal. You can also put it in the freezer so it make it cold, so it makes it a little bit more pleasant. This one here is an interesting one. It's a flat head, and what that one is used for mainly is areas like your IT bands, your quads, your hamstrings, your calf, pretty much lower extremity. It's meant for muscles that, or fascial bands like the IT band that have a flat surface and you don't want it to be bumpy, so that's good at flattening out a muscle if there's like a bunch of knots or something in it. So basically if this is your IT band, it goes up and down like that along it. This one, you have to be explicitly careful though that you don't go over a bone, because this one will bounce really hard and it doesn't feel good. And the last one is probably the most uncommon head that's used, which is this one. This is kind of the grown-up version of this one. So this one is meant for an extremely, extremely deep tissue massage. So, if you want to get into the glutes or like a muscle that's really deep or you really, really want to work on it, that's usually the last one I recommend people use, mainly because it's so intense it can make you unbelievably sore, and it can also bruise you if you're not careful. Now, some heads that the proper pistol does not have is one that almost looks like a wedge. It's basically a flat head like that. And that one's for a technique that we call scraping. It's basically this head, but it needs to be done at an angle up and down the IT band. That's good for like longer, larger muscles where you can go up and down the entire body of the muscle. Think like your quads, your hamstrings, your low back muscles that go from the neck all the way to the hips, upper traps, those kind of things. You kind of go along the tissue with the muscle fiber. So usually what I tell people with this is to start it with 30 seconds to a minute, and you can progress as long as you'd like up there. Doing it more than 2 to 3 minutes on a single muscle group is just really intense. It can make you really sore. And that's pretty much all the information I have about that. If you guys have any questions, please contact me at Pinnacle Max Recovery in Cuyahoga Falls. And this is another lesson from